Lots of very strange things have happened to me. And I only discovered about Asquith and my stepfather by pure, not chance, but through family tragedy. I would never, if the family tragedy hadn't happened, I would never have investigated stepfather. I hated him that much. I didn't care what his background was. And he made our lives as children a nightmare. But he was a charmer, stepfather. He was, in my view, the classic psychopath or sociopath. Psychopath, people don't have to murder people to become psychopaths. Their most overwhelming characteristic is being charming when they want to be. And we've all met those people who are utterly charming, are often people who've been done over, saying, oh, he was so charming to begin with, Anyway, he was a charmer, and he charmed my mother. I was born in Cambridge. I was the youngest of 4 children, and you need to know a little bit about my background, the family tragedy, to understand how I, obviously you're interested in why and how I found out that my stepfather was the illegitimate son of one of our prime ministers. That's the fascination. But you have to understand how I found out, because it was, or still is, in my view, I'm still fighting, in my view, the family and the establishment, because it was, and still is, a very cleverly hidden baby. And only I could have found out. No genealogist, without living in my house, could have done it. And I'll say now, before I forget, I suspect there's another baby out there. Otherwise, why is everything still so protected? And why, even more frightening to me, is that the letters that I used in the Bodleian librarian told me that there were letters between the 2 lovers, Prime Minister Asquith and his lover, Venetia Stanley. There was an age group of 35 years. That's the sort of background. Anyway, those letters were kept by the Asquith family. Well, they were kept by Venetia first, and then by the Asquith family, and given to the Bodleian. Those letters were edited by a liberal. Everything comes into liberalism in here. He's still alive. He's the warden of, or was the warden of Nuffield College, Oxford, and he edited those letters. And the significant thing for me was that in those books, those were published in 1982, there was a furore about them, but not a very big furore, as because Brock was his name, had edited those letters. So most of the loving bits were not in the letters, even though he admitted it was an infatuation with this young girl. But anyway, I went to the library, used those letters, and found things that he hadn't found or hadn't wanted to find. But as I said, the scary thing is that the Asquith family had contributed more letters that were to come out in the year 2015, and that's in my book. But guess what's happened? They've been withdrawn. So the mystery sort of even deepens as to why this mystery, anyway,